Hi everyone! Sa video ito, talakayin natin kung paano mag-determine ng domain, range, and asymptote of rational function. Okay, so may mga tatlong case tayo dito sa pag-determine ng, what do you call this, the horizontal asymptote ng rational function. So una muna natin i-discuss ang case 1. Sa case 1, the degree of numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. So m is the degree of the numerator, n is the degree of the denominator. So if m is less than n, okay, ang magiging range natin, possible na y is element of real numbers or y is element of real numbers where y is not equal to 0. At ang horizontal asymptote naman ay y is equal to 0 lagi. Okay? So kapag ganito yung case natin, automatic na ang horizontal asymptote ay y is equal to 0. Okay, isa-isahin natin. Domain, range, asymptote of rational function. So kapag domain, okay, pag domain kasi, yung denominator should not equal to 0. Okay? So, paano natin malalaman? So, kunin muna natin yung denominator na x minus 4. Okay, so ito yung denominator natin. So, the denominator should not equal to 0. Then, solve for x. So, x should not equal to 4. Okay? So, ang magiging domain natin, x is element of real numbers where x or such that x is not equal to 4. So, ito yung magiging domain natin. When we say domain, the values of x dun sa function natin. Kaya lang sabi dito, ang domain neto ay all real numbers except 4. Bakit? Kasi kapag naging 4, yung denominator natin, magiging undefined kasi ito. Kaya, pwedeng lahat ng number maliban lang kay 4. Okay? Now, next, range. Sa range, okay. So, sa range, nandito lang sa dalawang ito. Y is element of real numbers or y is element of all real numbers where y should not equal to 0. So, anong pipiliin natin sa dalawa? Okay. So, itetest natin kung pwedeng 0, magkaroon tayo ng zeros ng function. Zeros of the function. So, ano yung value ni x para maging 0 siya? Yun yung condition. Okay? So, since, no, itetest natin kung y ay equal to 0. So, yung function natin, ito, gawin nating 0 is equal to 2 over x minus 4. Kung may masosolve tayong value ng x, okay? Kung may masosolve tayong value ng x, ito ang gagamitin. Na ito yung magiging range. Pero kung wala, ito ang magiging range natin. Okay? So, let's solve. So, cross-multiply lang yan. Ang denominator nito ay 1. So, 0 times a quantity is 0. Is it equal to 2? Okay? So, ang denominator nito ay 1. So, 0 times x minus 4 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. So, this is a false statement. Okay? So, 0 is not equal to 2. Kaya, 0 is equal to 2 is a false. So, kung ganun, wala tayong na-solve na value ni x. Okay, so dahil wala tayong na-solve na value na x, ito ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So, our range, y, is element of all real numbers such that y is not equal to 0. So, possible na pwedeng lahat ng values, ay number natin, maliban lang yung 0 daw. So, kasi hindi tayo magkakaroon ng 0 sa functions na to. Okay? Next. Asymptotes. So, in asymptotes, we have the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptote. So, vertical asymptote and horizontal asymptote. Okay, so kakambal lang neto itong domain. Okay? So, kung alam mo i-determine ang domain natin, So sabi dito, x is element of all real numbers where x is not equal to 4. Yung opposite lang nito ang isusulat natin kay vertical asymptote. So x is equal to 4. Yun yung magiging vertical asymptote natin. And then, dito din, since y should not equal to 0 in the range, therefore, our horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 0. So, kapag i-graph natin yung function, malaking tulong itong mga to. Kaya dapat matutunan nyo yung pag-determine ng domain range, vertical asymptote, and horizontal asymptote. Lalo na dito sa vertical asymptote and horizontal asymptote. Kasi, guide natin to kapag i-graph na yung function. Okay. Next, number 2. Let's determine the domain, range, and asymptotes of this function. So, start muna tayo kay domain. Sa domain, the denominator should not equal to 0. So, kunin natin yung denominator, x squared minus 9 should not equal to 0. Since squared ito, ibig sabihin may dalawang value of x dito. So, i-factor natin yan, x plus 3 and x minus 3 should not equal to 0. So, therefore, x plus 3 should not equal to 0 and x minus 3 should not equal to 0. So, solve for x. X should not equal to negative 3. So, transpose lang natin to doon. Ito naman, transpose din natin doon. X should not equal to positive 3. So based on this, x should not equal to negative 3 and positive 3. Therefore, our domain is x is element of all real numbers such that x should not equal to negative 3 and x should not equal also to positive 3. So, ito yung magiging domain natin. Lahat ng numbers maliban lang kay negative 3 and 3. Okay? Next, range. So, ang range natin, the degree of numerator is 1. The degree of denominator is 2. So, paano ko na-determine yon? Yung highest exponent sa numerator ng variable x natin ay 1. Kaya ito yung 1, degree ng numerator. Ang degree ng denominator is 2. So, in this case, m is less than 2. M is less than n. So, kapag m is less than n, the degree of numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. So, pagpipilian lang natin ay itong dalawa na to. So, itest natin kung may masosolve tayong value ni x. Kung may nasolve tayong value ni x, yung isa, di ba? So, solve muna natin kung may masosolve tayong value ni x kapag ang y natin ay 0. Okay? So, on this function, we have 0 is equal to x plus 2 over x squared minus 9. So, cross multiply. So, ang denominator nito ay, yung 0 ay 1. So, magkakaroon tayo ng x plus 2 equals to 0. Bakit 0? 1 times x plus 2 is x plus 2. 0 times x squared minus 9 is 0. Then, solve for x. X is equal to negative 2. So, ibig sabihin, this is our zeros of our function. So, may masosolve tayong value ni x na kapag y is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang x natin ay negative 2, may masosolve tayong 0. Kapag ganon, may masosolve tayong value ni x, ang magiging range lang natin ay y is element of all real numbers agad. So, pwedeng lahat ng numbers na maging range ng function natin. Okay? Next. Sunod naman ay asymptote. Vertical asymptote. Sa vertical asymptote, okay, kakambal nito, si domain. Kung x is not equal to 3 and x is equal to 3, not equal to 3, ang vertical asymptote natin ay x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to 3. So, dito mo siya kukunin. So, since ang value of x natin ay hindi magiging negative 3 and 3, So therefore, ang magiging vertical asymptote natin ay -3 and +3. Okay? So ayan. So dapat alam niyo yung mag-determine ng vertical asymptote para pag nag-graph, i-graph natin to, broken line kasi siya. Okay? And then, the horizontal asymptote, okay, horizontal asymptote, okay, so our horizontal asymptote, y is equal to 0. Okay? So, paano ko nasabing y is equal to 0? So, yung condition kanina, if m is less than n, automatic na y is equal to 0. Yan yung tinatawag nating case 1. Y is equal to 0. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, let's proceed to example number 3. Okay, so here in example number 3, so let's determine first the domain. Okay, domain. So, get the denominator. So, our denominator, we have x squared minus 3x minus 10 should not equal to 0. Since naka-squared to, quadratic, dalawa yung value of x na mahahanap natin. So, isang x minus 5 and x plus 2 should not equal to 0. Pinactor natin to. So, ang factor niya ay ito. And then, solve for x. So, isang x minus 5 na not equal to 0 at saka x plus 5 na hindi equal, x plus 2, sorry. X plus 2 na hindi equal dapat sa 0. So x here is not equal to 5 and x is not equal to -2. So, transpose lang natin to doon. Okay. So, based on that, we can conclude now that the domain is element of all real numbers except x is not equal to 5 and x is not equal also to -2. So, lahat ng number pwede, maliban lang kay 5 at -2 yung magiging domain natin. Okay, what will be the range? So, range. So, let's solve x by letting y is equal to 0. So, ito naman ay, ang m natin dito ay 1. Ang n dito ay 2. So, the degree of numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. So, therefore, mamaya, ang horizontal asymptote niyan, automatic na y is equal to 0. Pero, dito sa range muna, okay, dito sa range, let y equals to 0. Kung may masosolve tayong value ni x, okay, kung may masosolve tayong value ni x, ang range natin, elements is all real number. Pero kung wala, y is element of all real numbers such that y is not equal to 0. So, alin dito sa dalawa ang magiging range natin? Sabi ko nga, ulitin ko, kapag may masosolve tayong value ni x, ito ang ating magiging range. Pero kapag wala tayong masosolve na value ni x, ito. Okay? Kapag y is equal to 0. Okay. So, let's solve. 0 is equal to x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x minus 10. So, cross-multiply lang yan. Ang denominator ng 0 is 1. Okay? So, 1 times x minus 4, that is x minus 4, equals to 0 times here, the denominator, cross-multiply lang tayo, that is 0. Solve for x, x is equal to 4. May nasolve tayong value ni x. Kapag may nasolve tayong value ni x, sabi ko kanina, ang magiging range natin ay, okay, ang range natin ay y is element of all real numbers. Okay? Kapag may nasolve na x, y is element of all real numbers tayo. Okay, next, vertical asymptote. Okay, si vertical asymptote, dito tayo magdepende. Na-determine na natin na x should not equal to 5 and -2. Therefore, our vertical asymptote or x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 2. So, yun yung magiging vertical asymptote natin. And the horizontal asymptote, so since this is a case 1, automatic that your horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 0. Okay? So, if m is less than 0, this is case 1. Ay, sorry, n pala, sorry. M is less than n, automatic that your horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 0. So that's the way how are you going to determine the domain, the range, and the asymptote of the rational function. So do not forget this lesson because this will be your guide in graphing rational function. So I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching, share, and subscribe to my channel.